one and all present here. It gives us immense pleasure to welcome you all to Cosmic Vision. Hello. Good morning to one and all. It gives us immense pleasure to welcome you all to the Cosmic Vision, an astronomy workshop organized by the Bangalore Astronomical Society, a collective dedicated to fostering scientific curiosity and making astronomy accessible to all.
We are truly grateful to have such an enthusiastic gathering with you all today. Thank you for being a part of this initiative to ignite young minds and deepen an understanding of the cosmos.
At the outset, we would like to extend a warm welcome to our chief guest, Dr. Ramesh Srikonda, Sir, Director, and our chief patron, Srinivas Daketi, Sir. We are honored to your presence.
We also take this opportunity to cordially welcome our esteemed speakers for the day, Mr. Pramod Srinivas and Mr. Snehit Madhukar. Your knowledge and experience promise to make this workshop both enriching and insightful. Now we would like to invite our guests, Director Sir and Srinivas Sir, to the stage.
Allow me to begin with a brief introduction of Mr. Pramod Srinivas. He has been associated with the Bangalore Astronomical Society since 2008. Over the years, he has conducted hundreds of outreach programs encouraging thousands of students, residents, and members of the public, playing a significant role in spreading awareness and appreciation of astronomy.
Thank you, Namita. Our second speaker, Mr. Snehit Madhukar, is a talented astrophotographer and a committed volunteer. With over 5 years of experience in the field of astronomy and outreach, he has played a key role in numerous BS programs. Notably, he has visited Hanley, one of the world's highest observatories, twice and brings with him a deep understanding of the basic astrophotography and techniques involved in capturing celestial wonders.
So, we would like to respectfully invite Dr. Srinivas sir to kindly address the gathering and share a few words.
Welcome to Cosmic Vision. I think by the end of the day, we'll have huge crowd coming when you people go to the terrace. So welcome again. You have come all the way from Bangalore, and I think this is a start, an initiative by the students. They wanted to make this, and they have started a club. So I think this is a major event after the formation of the club. I think this will move forward with the support of our director who has been always enthusiastic and supportive for all these kind of programs. So let's hope this program will be successful, and we would like you to encourage our students, and thank you for coming. Thank you, sir.
We would like to welcome Mr. Srinivas. We would like to request Director Sir to please share a few words.
Good morning to everyone, and special warm welcome to the persons who came from all the way from Bangalore. I know our students are having lot of interest in this particular astronomy, and we don't want to discourage them. We wanted to make it more successful, and we want to start a club, and where their interest is going to be get protected. That is one part. As far as knowledge related to astronomy, I am having zero knowledge. But I am having the interest to know about it, so I am going to be the part, I am going to be here throughout your workshop, whatever you are going to show to us. It definitely improves some knowledge about astronomy. What we know more about as an architect on the planets and how Earth moves and what exact the declination, in what extent it is going to create the seasons to us, how this particular moon is going to influence the sea and type of waves, whatever we are getting it in our atmosphere. As such, if you see the moon, a small item, like what I know I wanted to share, it doesn't have an atmosphere that extent what we have. The gravity also, what you know, it will one sixth of the Earth's gravity. Let's like meters per second square, whatever we work out. So in case one of our student not directly related to the one what we are going to see today and enjoy the kind of a total cosmic world of the universe and how it is going to, what are all the orbits, all the things we can see and enjoy and know about. We are not going to know about the things what exactly happens in the universe, even starting from the Milky Way and how it moves and how it generates the light years and all other things. For a full round, it may generate a light year for the sun, what we are going to talk about it. But a few items only I know, not much about it, but it gives a lot of knowledge by the end of this workshop, and especially in the night time, where you make us to see and enjoy the universe, like whatever we are going to have it. Basically, what I really felt was one of our student, architecture student, has taken a research or thesis topic, a habitation on a moon. And then first initially we were worrying whether we can able to take that as a thesis topic to the student. Then we started asking him to understand the kind of an atmosphere what we have where habitation is surviving in our planet Earth. First, you should know what extent of the oxygen is available in the atmosphere. That's maybe 21 or some percentage. And once you start doing about breathing, like inhaling and exhaling, how extent it takes inside our lungs. Lungs are designed to take that one. Human body is designed for that oxygen to take some percentage and release of the carbon dioxide. Maximum extent, carbon dioxide percentage is very small, like 0.04 or 0.03 what we have in this atmosphere. I'm talking about the planet Earth. First, you understand the total atmosphere, mesosphere, and all other things, what it is around our planet Earth. Then you compare what exactly to the one what you have taken the place for your site at moon. So to understand it, he has to know so many things, not one. And habitation is surviving on a planet Earth means there are n number of reasons. We need not go and start digging how the birth took place, but we can think about it, how we are surviving it with all atmospheric conditions and the seasonal variations and diurnal variations, all such things, how we are getting it. That made us to understand effectively so that you will be in a position to design an habitat, a place where one can live. So now that, the technology is going so fast, and then probably we may not be knowing about it after maybe after 1 or 2 centuries. We may have some kind of habitation in different planets. Once we start identifying if the humanity or human is going to survive there. So having this kind of a knowledge, understanding, not one is enjoyment to know about it. Another one is creating a knowledge base to us. Third one is, in case as an architect and planner, if you know things and then scientists are doing a lot of research in these areas, if there is any possibility of adjusting a human body there by a given atmospheric condition, how extent a building can be designed, a habitation can be designed, a colony can be designed. So these are the knowledge levels, like we may not be really working out right at this moment, but knowledge is always a great thing to a human being. So this particular workshop not only will see in that direction, another one is to know about what exactly we are at on a planet Earth and what it is getting, because everything has got a magnetic power, only the one which really makes the planets to survive. That too, particularly Milky Way of a set of planets. We don't know similar kind of things maybe elsewhere in different locations. But we have to know and we should really enjoy. I wish that this workshop is going to be very much successful. And also I wanted to also know and improve some knowledge about this. What I know, a few things I shared with you. Wish you all the best. We are all with you to do whatever additional, like last time, even our Pramod ji also telling it to me. We don't have any instruments to buy and see. Such things also we can make it available in coming future. Wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your words, sir. Now we would like to invite registered stars on the stage.
Also, we would like to call Mr. Pramod Srinivas and Mr. Snehit Madhukar on the stage. Thank you very much for those encouraging words, sir. Now we request our chief guest, Dr. Ramesh Srikonda, sir, and chief patron, Dr. Srinivas Raketi, sir, to kindly felicitate our speakers as a token of our appreciation.
We request you to first felicitate Mr. Pramod Srinivas, sir.
Thank you. Now we request you to felicitate Mr. Snehit Madhukar.
With that, now we hand over the session to our distinguished speakers. We look forward to an engaging and educational experience.
We now invite Mr. Pramod Srinivas and Mr. Snehit Madhukar to kindly commence the session. Thank you.
So, thank you so much for everybody. Thank you for the kind words, sir. So, it's been pleasure. In terms of, I would like to start from introduction. So, we are here to connect with everybody. So, this is what we are trying to do from since 2007, 2008, when we formed Bangalore Astronomical Society. We were also a kind of group what Supernova is today. So, I do recollect those days. From 2004 till 2007 2008 we were not even a group, we were just kids, we were meeting up, so we were trying to do a telescope on our own, so we want to look at the night sky. So that is how Bangalore Astronomical Society started. So that was one of the brief about Bangalore Astronomical Society, but you have rightly pointed out that planning is very essential for astronomy. So I would like to start with this example. Our kings like Raja Jai Singh, then the other kings, they are the first pillars for astronomy in India. To be very frank, even beyond 400 years, 500 years, they started planning for something called sundial. So they wanted to understand time with a different perspective to the Persians, to the Europeans, and to the other part of the world. So they started building a civil structure called the observatories, which was a part of sundial of ancient history, which completely and clearly told the time without even looking at a clock. I mean, at that time, that was the only clock which was available apart from a water clock. So, with this, and also we were talking about, so we wanted to talk about what happens to star, since you are pointing out, so we would like to look at the night sky. Yes, that would be one of the definite part of the program. However, we also have a surprise after this program where, so one of the equipments what we bought, I don't wanted to disclose this. So this equipment was bought from United States, which was exported from one of our group member, which was exclusively bought for public outreach. So this is for everybody to use. However, you know how to use do's and don'ts, which we want you guys to see hands-on. So even before you get your own equipment, we want you to check our equipment, how it works. So for example, if I have to go out and ask somebody, we will talk about what is the clarity of a telescope, what best it can give. Provided on a clear night sky, for example, this telescope can make one dot to a size of that particular water can. So that is that powerful. So for example, if you have an object in the sky which is the size of this jar, that telescope can make that object to look this big as this screen. So that is the capacity it has got. And it also has a mirror technology. So I will also show you during when we are setting up for it. So here, instead of having this telescope only looking at night, we were trying to modify whether it could be seen during the day also, because a telescope would never should ever be used during the daylight. But we were figuring out all the options whatever we have, so we will also try and show you what is going to happen. So even before that, so before we even commenced, I was talking to a few of the volunteers from Supernova, which I was pretty excited about. Right. So even before that, so let us go back some. So this is a very simple story which is exclusively created for this particular event. So we will try to go back in some time. So for example, during 2004, 2005, 2006. So how I developed interest was, which is not more than anything different. It is similar to you guys. So for example, I was a kid. My grandfather was an astrologer. So you can think what would be going on at house. So for example, if I go and stand and ask, so what is happening? So my grandfather will say, you have Jupiter in Taurus, you have Shani Niku Makara Rashilo undi. So these were the things which I used to hear. But later on days, so I joined a planetarium, so I started studying about the stars, what is the scientific aspects of it. So that is where this journey started. So from 2006, 2007, I was able to understand the actual concepts of what is happening in the night sky, what is actually happening in the day sky, and what is actually happening all around. So that was the one. And there is no much similar, even Snehit would have encountered such a situation. So that is where it all started. So a group of people, for example, a people with a common interest joined and forming this society, coming up to here, conducting workshops, conducting star parties. So he had come to one of our star parties. So 2023, 21 January. So during that time, so what we try to do is we try to take people who have never exposed to any of the star parties, who have never seen any planets. We will take that kind of a people to a dark sky. We will ensure they learn things about it and they connect to other people. So that is how this connect began. So this was the start of that particular connect. So this is what we do as a Bangalore Astronomical Society. So that is what one of our motto also, one of our ethos. Right, starting to this. So since we wanted to understand how this all began, so I want everyone to go back in time. So for example, if you guys want to go back in time for somewhere during your childhood, I am sure everybody would have encountered one of the greatest astronomical object in the night sky told by our parents or grandparents. Any guess? During you want to eat a food, they will say Chandamama Chusava, so you want to see. So that is where everything begins. So I want you guys to take a step back, little bit, go back in time, somewhere close to 200 years. Is there anything which you can think of somewhere close to 200 years what would have happened in time? Okay, so no, so let us not confuse it. So for example, if you want to go back in time, so for example, the one particular ray if you have to pick from sun, you guys know how long it takes to reach earth? Is there any idea? 8.5 minutes. So the information coming from sun is delayed by 8.5 minutes, which is very close to us, right? So now, if you have to go back in time, 200 years, 400 years ago, if you say you have gone back 400 years ago, you will see the crudest part of the telescope discovered by Galileo. The crudest one, where he saw Jupiter and he said Jupiter has years. So that was the crudest telescope what he had. Nowadays we have telescopes which is like the telescope which I was using during my thesis is twice big as this building, and it sits at the top of 1800 1900 feet above the sea level. So to study those astronomical objects, this is the complications what we have built around. So why telescope is needed, what kind of telescope is needed, and what is the cost involved in it. So everything matters. So that is the reason. What happens is whatever you study towards the earth, inside and outside the earth, is called geology. Anything you go beyond atmosphere is astronomy, everything about studying about stars, etc., etc., etc. Right. So you guys had questions about what are constellations. You need not worry about anything. So constellations are just a group of stars. For example, there are imaginary shapes. So for example, on the globe, if you see countries, right? So you have a specific shape which is being carved out. So if you have to think about constellations, the constellations are only an imaginary shape to say, if I say X, you know where to look at that particular sky. So that is the only uh, work behind naming the constellations. So that you should know. So, however, the sky was actually divided by our ancients itself. So, for example, the first thing what I have heard, today we call it scorpion. My grandfather introduced me that scorpion as five-headed snake at that time. So the constellations were identified in a different way. Now the constellations are almost 88 constellations in the night sky. For example, that you know, if the constellation X is at a particular place, where you should look at. If I say constellation Z, where you should look at. So for example, so we will show you the real constellations on the sky. So you need not worry about it. So we will also have a night sky demo once the sky becomes dark, unless sky conditions are very clear, right? So that is the thing, right? Right. So this presentation is just a part. So everything else is already in inside the mind, right? So let me try and take you guys into it. Okay, so we spoke about who we are, what are we doing. So you can also look at our YouTube. You can also look at our Instagram handle on what was the reason. Sure, sure, sir. What was the recent buff? Anybody whom anything which you can think of the recent hype which we had? Any idea? What was the recent hype which we had related to astronomy? Anything which is recent, which comes to your mind, which strikes to your mind? Correct. That is one. What is the other one? Correct. There is one more thing. Planetary parade. Every newspaper used to publish, right? So, is there anything on the specific day you can see only planets, all the planets, or do you guys think all the planets are available every day? So that was the question which triggered this particular thing. Okay. So planetary parade was all about whether you can see all the objects every day, all the planets every day, are there in the same line or no. Right? This was a myth which we were trying to correct. But however, let me break the ice. Every planet, give or take, is available every day, 365 days in the night sky, right? Provided some of the planets are in the day sky. So there is no much difference. All the planets are always available in the same line. So we will also show you that particular line where it is available. So the only thing which you should remember is the sun moves in one particular line in the sky. You know, right? From east to west, if you see, you cannot see sun in the northern direction, right? You are always defining sun moving in one particular line, which is called an ecliptic, right? So sun moves from east to west. So that particular line in the same line, give or take 20, 23 degrees, you should be able to find every other planet in the sky, right? So there are some planets which are available before sunset. There are some planets which are available after sunset. There are some planets which are available before sunrise and after sunrise. So these are the things which we should ideally know. Right. So we talked about this. Okay. All right. So till now, if you guys have any question, I want you guys to feel free and ask, stop and ask wherever you require, because this story is not about what I know. This story is about what you guys want to know about it. For example, so the study of astronomy in terms of to be professional study, which I started in 2006. So till now I have been studying. I'm trying to earn a little bit of knowledge about astronomy on every given day, every single day. So I started with making my own mirrors, telescope, making it into a telescope, etc., etc. So that is how all it started. So I want you guys to think, in case if you have any question which triggers in your mind. So I want you guys to please, raise your hand and ask, so that we can answer. We can start from there, right? So that is the thing. Right. So planetary parade we discussed about, right? So there is no confusion. So I am sure everybody now knows that all the planets are always available in the night sky. All right. Okay. So one of the most topic for people is what we have heard whenever we have gone to the outreaches, right? Okay. All right. So there was a question. Somebody said. So once you look up at the night sky, okay, forget about. I mean, we will leave telescope. Everything's on the other side. Will you guys be able to see stars without any telescope, any binocular? We can see, right? We can see stars. Will we be able to see planets without any equipments? Is there anybody who disagree? So we know, right? There are certain objects which looks like a star, but they are still planets, right? For example, if you see Jupiter, if you see Venus, if you see Mars, they will still look like tiny objects like a star, but still they are planets in the night sky. To observe them closely, you might need an equipment. So for example, Venus is very big in the sky so that you are able to distinguish its shape. But what happens if you want to see other planets? You might need certain equipments which boosts your magnification of your eyes. So that is why we need binoculars. That is why we need certain equipments which enhances your vision. So that is why you need a telescope, right? Okay. Now the question is there a single kind of telescope? Is there anybody who knows, anyone who understands different kinds of telescopes? So the beginning of telescopes has begun only with two lenses, right? One lens as the objective. There is another lens which is a shorter focal length. So that is how Galileo had built a telescope, right? So which is called a refractor, using two lenses. Now the telescopes are so advanced that even before you communicate to the telescope can understand where it has been kept, okay, which location, how does the sky look at this particular time. So the telescopes are now that advanced. I am sure we will show you how advanced the telescopes are. So that is one. But however, here we are trying to discuss what kind of telescopes, different types of telescopes are available. One is called refractors, which uses two lenses. The other one which is called reflectors. The other one which is called catadioptric telescopes. So you have that 4-inch, right? So that is a reflector telescope. So which has a mirror. That is a reflector telescope. The one which we have got is a third one. The first one which you see, the top one, right? The Schmidt-Cassegrain telescope. That is called a catadioptric telescope, which uses two mirrors. See, we got this in flight, right? The other telescopes, you cannot even imagine to bring in a flight, right? So it has been pushed and made compact. So that is why that becomes essential to make it a compact size, but still it gives you that particular magnification to look at. So that is the reason that catadioptric telescopes came into picture, right? So we will show you the exact telescope. You will see how catadioptric telescope looks at. So there are few aspects which you should know. Making a lens is very costly in comparison to making a mirror. Okay, I cannot sit and make a mirror, make a lens. But trust me, 2008, 2009, I had made two telescopes with my own hands, carving out the mirrors. One is 8-inch, one is 6-inch. Now we are also working on one 12-inch mirror. I have the photos in my phone. I will show you. We are also making ourselves a 12-inch mirror by carving out ourselves. From the beginning, from the scratch, by taking two glass slabs, we are trying to grind the mirror, polish, get it aluminized, and make a telescope. So that process is also available. So that is also we are trying to do, so that we also promote amateur telescope making, so that the hobbyist people can come down, they can make their own telescope. So that is the initiative which we have taken, right? So this kind of telescope. Okay, so now you can imagine. So this is where most of my research has gone during 2007, 2008, 2009. So this is the Tamil Nadu. So it is called Kavulur. So this is at somewhere close to 1,600 feet above the sea level, so, above sea level, and also nearby area 10 kilometers radius there are no lights. So the darkest sky you can imagine, and you see a person standing down, right, in the second picture, right? You can see the width of the telescope. It is like if you see a concrete truck on the road, you take 4 concrete trucks back to back and fill it, that big the telescope is, which has a mirror of around 2.34 meters. You can imagine 2.34 meters. Now you might ask, why do you need such a big mirror? Correct? Okay. So let's try and understand why do we need such a big mirror. So I have got an 8-inch telescope now. Why do I need an 8-inch telescope? You have got a 4-inch telescope. Why do you need that big 4-inch telescope? This is the question you should always have. If you go and stand out, what is the maximum your eye can open? Your exit pupil. 7 mm maximum at a very darkest sky, that is the maximum it can open, right? So imagine a 4-inch mirror and imagine your exit pupil of 7 mm, how many exit pupils you can fit on that particular mirror. So that is the amount of light that telescope is collecting. So that light collecting power or the light collecting capacity is very, very essential so that you get most of the information collected. So that is the reason there are biggest mirrors built. The size of this telescope is exactly equal to what is there in the space. The Hubble Space Telescope, that is an exact mirror, 2.34 meters, is available in the Hubble telescope also. But it does study a different wavelengths, including visual. But this studies entirely visual, right? For example, I was giving you an example of what it can magnify, right? While I was using this particular telescope, so imagine, okay, you see that CCTV camera, right? Imagine a planet or an object is that big. This telescope can magnify that particular object to the size of this entire wall. So it goes up to micron level magnification. So that is why it is being used. If you have huge magnification and no more information coming in, so that doesn't look good because it makes object fuzzy. So that was the principle behind it. Now, okay. So this is actually an activity, so which we go out and do, right? Even before that, how are we doing on time? Okay. Would you guys be interested in looking at sun? Are you sure? Okay. Along with, how does the telescope work? What it takes to set up a telescope? Would you guys be interested to come along and look at sun? Okay. So I'm going to give you one more option. Would you guys to look at sun, whatever you see as a point object or the sun, magnified by somewhere close to 80 times, and it is safe to your eyes? Would you be interested to look at it? Okay. Right. So can we go to the assembly area and take a look at the sun? Right. So everybody wants to participate, or is there anybody who is willing to not to? So we will go. There are two aspects you have to keep in mind. What it takes to configure a telescope, you have to take a look at it. What it takes. Okay. So what element is a telescope? We will also gather around. I will show you how the mirror looks, and I will also show you we have made a DIY which is called, yeah. So it is a filter, because without a filter it is going to burn your eyes not in less than a second. So that difficult it is. So we have made a safe filter to see the telescope. That also we will show you. We will also show you how to configure it, what are the criticalities of it, and you can also come closer, you can touch, feel the telescope, and you can see through the telescope. So this is one of the activity. Now, looking at the sun will not take more than 5-10 seconds, but you are free to take a look. After seeing the sun, we have to get back here. There are a couple of things which we have to discuss, a part of the workshop, right? So we will do it. We will take our time. We will take a look at the sun because it is very hot outside. So we will ensure we will take a look. Everybody has to take a good look. We will come back. We have few questions from Snehit in terms of once you finish the observation. So we will talk about those things, right? Should we go up? Yeah, right? So yeah, so we will
Yeah.
follow you guys with our instrument.
Just before you guys go on to the terrace, has anybody seen the sun through the telescope till now? Anybody? No one? Okay. So you will see it in DSLR as well as in telescope. So we're going to show you two versions, so just enjoy it. Yeah, definitely.